Welcome back to Everyday Lessons in the Bible. Today I was in Proverbs 26, and this one starts out about don't be a fool. So it's talking in here about don't promote a fool. So fools have a tendency to say things that are not to lift people up. They tear people down. So they could be slandering. They could be just foolishness, really. And so it's just talking about, people that are like that. Don't promote them. Don't elevate them to a higher position. And then it talks about how we should respond. It's kind of like a person wanting to argue with you, and then you argue back with them. It's saying in here, don't respond to a fool the way a fool is talking. To respond with wisdom, then that will help silence the fool. And that you can't trust the fool, basically. And so never let one even represent you. So never let one, it doesn't even matter if it's legally, represent you. It could be in any capacity. If there's somebody that's a fool, don't let them represent your character, who you are. So we should always be careful with who we hang around, because fools a lot of times love to just hear themselves talk, and they like to flatter people and things like that. It also talks about what's worse than a fool is someone who is so in love with their own opinion. And those are people that they don't listen to what other people have to say. They don't listen to wise counsel. They just love their own thoughts and their own opinions, and they don't listen to anybody. And I know some of those for sure. Statements from fools will have a tendency to hurt others. And so that's another way you can tell, the character of a person if their words are always tearing people down or hurting people. And then it talks about how it's reckless for an employer to hire a fool. An employer should look for the best candidate for the position, not just hire anybody for the position. And I think that's really important. A lot of times you're just looking for a body to fill a position, and we shouldn't be like that. We should take our time and make sure we get the right people, because it can cause so much strife within the workforce. And fools will repeat the same mistake or the same error over and over again. They just don't learn. They don't learn from their mistakes because they can't be told that they're even making a mistake. So they just repeat it over and over and over again. Then it goes on to talk about don't be lazy. It's lazy people, they don't want to work. And they live off of other people. They don't have the money to feed themselves, so they live off of other people. So, don't be one of those kind of people that are lazy. And so then it talks about a self-righteous person, which also is referred to as a sluggard. But he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And that those are typically still even your fools. They think they're smarter than everybody else. And even 7 wise counsel people can come and try to instruct or teach or help that person, and they still will not see it. And that trying to even do that with a fool, it says it's like trying to come between quarreling dogs, like stray dogs that are quarreling. It's like trying to even come in between that is like trying to talk to or reason with a fool. And then the next section is talking about watch your words, which is so important. People don't realize the power of words and how they can bring life and death to people. And so and we do this, we've done this before. I know I have, I know you have. When you're with a friend and you say, I didn't mean it, I was just joking. It refers to that as a madman randomly shooting off deadly weapons. So think about that. You may not have meant it, but there was probably some truth behind it. And you might have been joking, but with some truth behind it. And it's it's painful. Even when we're joking, it's painful to other people. It's like sarcasm. My kids had told me that sarcasm was scarcasm, and it's true. There's always a little bit of truth in there, so it's still painful. It still hurts. And that the thing that will diffuse a quarrel between people is when the gossip stops. So if there's a confrontation or whatever going on, just stop talking, stop the gossip, stop whatever the situation is, just let that come to a halt. And we have to remember that hatred is the root of slander, and insecurity is the root of flattery. So when people are being very flattery to you, it's because of their insecurity. A smooth talker can hide a corrupt heart. And boy, do I know that one. Hypocrisy loves to hide behind flattery. And the thing that is so true is that all of these kind of people, lazy people, what they call a fool, people that have, they speak poorly or bad or say bad words or things like that, they won't be able to keep that mask on forever, because at some point in time they will be exposed to the world, whether here, human to human, or because of our Heavenly Father. Everything that we do will be exposed. And so people that don't realize that are in for a very rude awakening, and I just think we have to be so careful with our words. We have to be careful with our life and the things that we do and say, because they hurt people, and they can affect your eternity. So I just think it's super important, that we are very mindful of the things that we do and the things that we say and how we treat others.